There's this idea that religion and psychiatry have always been in conflict. A lot of people today believe that in the medieval ages, most mental disorders were considered as witchcraft or demonic possession. A lot of people today have this false belief that in the old days, most people did not know how to deal with mental disorders, or people who suffered from mental health issues were simply discarded. But that's simply not true. Many well-known psychiatric textbooks have taught that the Middle Ages were the Dark Ages, when the focus was on insanity as demonology, when people did not consider natural causes to mental disorders, and the insane were tortured or burnt at the stake. However, that point of view is far away from the truth because natural causes to mental disorders were proposed and largely accepted during that period. In my opinion, people who live in religious societies tend to have less anxiety. They tend to be happier and less depressed. Using Africa as an example, most Africans are either Christian or Muslim, and both religions forbid self-harm and offer words of encouragement to people that may differ from mental health problems. Let's take a look at how to deal with anxiety and stress according to Islam. In the Quran, it says, "Verily, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. Indeed, after hardship, there is ease. No fatigue, nor disease, nor sorrow, nor sadness, nor hurt, nor distress befalls a Muslim, even if it were the prick he receives from a thorn, but that Allah expiates some of his sins for that." In summary, that means when a Muslim goes through tough times, they should bear the pain because Allah will reward them for doing so. Let's take a look at how to deal with anxiety and stress according to Christianity. In the Bible, it says, "The righteous cry out, and the Lord hears them. He delivers them from all their troubles. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." Anxiety weighs down the heart, but a kind word cheers it up. The righteous choose their friends carefully, but the way of the wicked leads them astray. Let's take a look at how to deal with anxiety and stress according to Buddhism. Buddhism is the official religion in Bhutan, Cambodia, Myanmar, and Sri Lanka. The religion also holds a special status in Thailand and Laos. It's also the majority religion in Mongolia. In several Asian countries, a lot of people are Buddhists. Buddhism teaches you to acknowledge your anxiety, be mindful about your body, be mindful about your feelings, be mindful about your mind, be mindful about your mental state, be mindful about your thoughts which lead you to separate yourself from your thoughts. Buddhism teaches you to analyze what made you anxious. Do what you can, do best, and show some compassion to yourself. Don't expect 100% perfection from yourself. Let's take a look at how to deal with anxiety and stress according to Hinduism. Hinduism is practiced in India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, and Malaysia. In the ancient Hindu text of Bhagavad Gita, it teaches that in order to get rid of all negative tendencies, unhealthy thoughts, anxiety, and worries, one should totally surrender to the higher power, which implies opening one's mind without any reservations and doubts to the inflow of divine consciousness. The needed guidance will come spontaneously. Hinduism also teaches people who are suffering from depression and anxiety to recite a certain mantra 108 times daily with the help of a Hindu rosary to overcome this problem. Mantra means a sacred message or text, charm, spell, or counsel. Let's take a close look at the distribution of anxiety disorders globally. Research and data from the Madison Project database, comprising of the careful work of hundreds of economic historians in 2021, shows that the anxiety disorders were most prevalent in North and South America, Europe, and Australia. On the other hand, least prevalent in substantial parts of Africa and Asia. Now, let's take a look at how people deal with mental health disorders. The same sources claim that a majority of Africans, Asians, North and South Americans deal with anxiety or depression with the help of religion and spiritual activities, with Nigeria, Zambia, Brazil, Thailand, Mexico, and Georgia having a significant number of the population dealing with anxiety disorders through religious and spiritual activities, whereas Canada, France, Denmark, Netherlands, and Bulgaria sit at the bottom of the chart, where a substantial amount of people have atheist and agnostic beliefs. Further research showed that a majority of Canadians, Australians, Europeans, and North Americans deal with anxiety disorders and depression by taking prescribed medication, with the United Kingdom, France, Canada, Spain, Switzerland, and Australia, to name a few, on the top of that list. On the contrary, countries sitting at the bottom of the list tend to be those where religion and spirituality is a common practice, with Islam being more prevalent and resistant to antidepressants. In conclusion, there's no denying that religion and spiritual activities help suppress anxiety. Research and data proves it. In addition, people respond well to anxiety treatment without medication or religious beliefs. You'll find that anxiety can often be managed entirely, or at least in part, with lifestyle changes like getting more sleep, changing one's diet, exercising, avoiding alcohol and nicotine, yoga, and much more. Are psychiatrists too quick to prescribe medication to young people suffering from anxiety? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Peace.